Warzone Solos has always been my favorite mode for one single reason, because of the chess match. It's just a pure 1v1 based on skill and decision making. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the ways to outplay your opponents in each fight and a very strategic endgame. It's time to get good. The way that every single person can practice outplaying their opponents is by perfecting your early game. Your early game is the thing that you have the most control over. It's the thing that no matter whether you're a bot or a pro, you can practice your early games because you can just queue into a game and drop in. It doesn't require you to make it to an end game to practice, like an end game situation. One of the things I'm always trying to get my coaching students to do is obviously land on a scavenger contract, but I'm also trying to have people plan out their drop perfectly. Try to know exactly where that contract is inside the building. Really quick, we notice there's a guy up here. You're actually going to see me use this decoy grenade. That's one of the other ways you can outplay your opponents is with sound distraction, sound cover. You can throw decoy grenades at people. You can throw smoke grenades at people. So that's what I was thinking here. But like I was saying, I think one of the best ways to perfect your early game is to plan out your drop to the T. Know exactly where the contract is, know exactly where you want to land, pull your shoot one time, get the contract, get a gun, defend your area. That's the thing that you can always practice. Whether or not you're going to do contracts or land in the same spot every game, I'll leave that up to you. But,
one supply box down,
okay.
two remain.
So, just noticing, I haven't plated what a bot this guy is. Can't believe you guys are watching him. So as I'm coming up here to get the second box, I hear footsteps. I want you to listen. You're going to hear footsteps on wood. Right? And so just based on those audio cues and my experience with the game, I am predicting that he's second floor. So I'm going to use my sensor grenade to try and figure out where this guy is. Throwing the sensor grenade is going to clear out this whole side of the building, basically, right? And like in the last video, we talked about if someone's going to give you their power position, right? If they're going to give you the bottom floor of their house, then we're going to take it. I know he's up here, so I slide out, start to pre-fire. We know that he's going to, just based on the way he's moving, he's going to run out here. And so that's an opportunity for us to break his camera. Probably the #1 way that sweats or pros or competitors outplay their opponents, especially average players, is to break their camera. So breaking their camera essentially means just making them really uncomfortable in a close situation because it's going to throw off what they're seeing on their screen. So right when this guy comes through and I slide all the way across his screen really quick, there's literally zero chance he's going to be able to actually shoot me. And so by breaking this guy's camera, starting with hip fire, I actually hit terrible shots here. But that's just one way to outplay your opponents is with movement, breaking cameras. We don't stay here and loot for too long. We work towards the next scavenger contract. Obviously, we have a heartbeat sensor. Just gonna skip a little bit ahead here. The reason we like the scavenger is because it always gonna give us a satchel and enough money for a loadout.
Contract complete.
All right, cool. So now let's go get our loadout. We're coming back over towards where we knew there were players earlier, right? Like there was a guy red, we saw a guy top blue. I want to put myself in the area of where I know there are players, right? If you want to improve the game, if we want to get higher kill games, we want to have more fun, we need to think about where can we go that we're going to get into gunfights. We don't want to be hiding from gunfights.
Enemy soldier incoming. This
guy outplays himself just because he's standing out in the middle of the open. Catches bad timing. This thing right here I want to talk about, right? There's two people here. We see them on the heartbeat. They obviously just saw me shoot. I hear a guy running on the roof above me on metal footsteps. I want you to pay attention to how I do this. I open up the door and I strafe a little bit left and outside of the door. So I was fully anticipating someone to be head glitching right here because they would have saw me shooting. The reason I stay on the outside of this door and strafe back into the left a little bit is to give myself an exit strategy, right? If there's a guy sitting on this head glitch, I don't want to take this fight, right? Because that would be, let's say, unless he's really, really bad, I'm standing, he can see all of my body, I can only see his head. And so if there's a guy here, I'm not going to push this. I'm going to bail. Giving myself an exit strategy. As I'm pushing over here, I hear footsteps. I couldn't tell if he was inside this room or if he was running underneath me and coming up the stairs. I couldn't really tell based on audio cues. So I hit a quick little shoulder. Don't overexpose myself. I was anticipating him running through here, right? So there's just two main things I want to talk about there. Shouldering and anticipation. Shouldering is gathering information, right? Like we can't make good decisions if we don't have the information. And so the shouldering gives us the information without exposing us too much to where we get shot at. Then I anticipated him to come through, right? Because he just saw me, he might get aggressive and come play. So I center my crosshair where I think he could run, but then I use my ears and I hear him run up the stairs. Now pay attention to this audio, right? We hear him running away from us. Pay attention to the audio. It stops, right? And so as I'm coming around this corner, I hear the audio stop. We hear clunk, 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 stop. What does that tell you? He's turning around and he's gonna try and shoot us. And so rather than having my knife out, I switch to my C9 here and I center my crosshair where I'm most likely to see the guy. That guy probably should have pre-fired. I should have taken more damage there than I actually did. Use our heartbeat to find the other guy. Again, we're shouldering for information. Look at this quick little shoulder. I see the shoulder. I don't have my gun out. He has his gun out. And so I hit the quick little shoulder to get the information. I fake like I'm coming back left and running away. And then I hit another quick slide with pre-fire. It's a very subtle thing, but I'm just going to back it up. Obviously, this is a bot, right? Like these first couple kills, this is why I'm speeding through this a little bit. There's a lot more strategic and sweatier gunfights later in this game, but these first couple kills, yes, I'm outplaying people, but it's very, very, very basic stuff. So we're just gonna speed through it. We hit a quick little shoulder. We come back left. That's gonna make him think we're going this way, and then we get our gun out, slide out, good centering, easy peasy. All right, so now we started the game with 4 kills, 120 players. I wanted to use my heartbeat to see if there was another guy coming, maybe from red, right? Because prime example, this guy's still sitting top red. Still sitting top red. I've already completed 1 contract and gotten 4 kills, and this guy is still sitting top red. Very sad. So I use the truck and the building as cover. We grab our loadout. Something I think a lot more people should start doing is throwing smokes down on their loadout. I didn't know if this guy was going to jump down or what he was going to do. I just want to make sure that I'm not stuck in my loadout. So I pop my smoke, grab my 8 attachment gun because we already have a C9. And I'm just going to sit here and see if this guy is going to jump off, make a mistake. I just want to give this guy an opportunity. Looking back in hindsight, I probably should have just left this. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to run up here. But because I've already, you know, my first 4 kills were not against very good players. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a bot lobby. It doesn't really end up being a bot lobby, but I'm thinking that maybe it is. And so I sit right here just to see if this guy does something stupid. I shoot to try and maybe bait him out on top of the roof, but he's not buying it. So I wait a few seconds, keep my crosshair centered in case he hears me and chows the top of this, right? This is why centering is so important, because if my crosshair was down here and this guy pops up here and I have my knife out, I'm probably dead, right? He doesn't chow it. And so if he's going to give us his power position, we're going to take as much of it as we can. Going to talk a lot about power position. Like when you have a building, when you have high ground, you need to make sure you're punishing people for trying to take it from you, right? You always want to keep them out in the open. Don't let them push into your building without shooting them first. We hear audio that tells us he's not on the roof. So I use my impact grenade as opening damage, gives me first shots. And now because of the smoke plume and because I've taken some of this guy's health, I can play this super aggressive. And as long as I push with good centering and react quickly, this guy can't kill me. Easy peasy. Alrighty, and since we're here, I just grabbed this contract. Usually the search and destroy contract isn't one that I like to do just because it blows up a buy station. But since I was so close and there weren't really any other contract options, I grab it. So go behind us towards Berger Town, grab a car. I'm taking note in my mind that there's people at TV station that just popped a cluster on me. And we're going to do this. So as I'm doing this, I hear like 2 little footsteps on my left, what I thought were footsteps. I don't even think what I heard were actually footsteps, but it caused me to pull out my heartbeat, right? Like that was too far away for me to hear that. I thought I heard something. I don't even think it was him. But it causes me to pull out my heartbeat. Now I know there's a guy pushing me. So one of the ways I think you can think about outplaying your opponents is understanding what they are thinking, right? You want to put yourself in their shoes. So if you're this guy that's over here to the left-ish somewhere, right? And you see a contract start, the search and destroy contract start, what are you going to do? Most players are going to at least come around and check it out and maybe try to third party, right? Because they're thinking in their mind that I don't know where he is, right? That's what he's potentially thinking in his mind. And so in my mind, I want to use that to my advantage. One of the reasons we always try to catch people in attack sprint is because it has their gun up. It catches them by surprise, right? Then it takes longer for them to get their gun down and shoot you. Something that I'm trying to work on is when I think a player is going to do something like this, where they're going to try and sneak up onto me, I try to just go like hit them in the mouth, right? I don't want them to just sneak up on me and me be ready for them. I want to catch them off guard and get them out quick. And so me thinking that this guy's going to try and sneak up, I'm like, all right, I don't really have to babysit this contract. I know there's only one guy here. I'm just going to run over here and try and punch this guy in the mouth.
Enemy squads from defusing it.
I don't know if he's first floor or second floor, so I make sure I chow with good centering, or ADS walk with good centering. And then I'm like, okay, he's got to be second floor. Use a little jump to visually check and see if this guy's here. And so this guy, I don't want to say like I outplayed him. Like obviously I was thinking like, yes, I'm gonna go punch this guy in the mouth, but also he's got to react to that quicker. If he's gonna try and third party it, you can't sit there and like crouch around and like, oh, I'm gonna catch this guy off guard. No, you got to play aggressive. Timing is very, very, very important. You're gonna hear me talk a little bit more about timing as this video progresses, just because these gunfights get a little bit sweatier. Okay, so we're in the mid-game phase. We have our loadout. We want to start doing objectives. Right now, I'm looking at the map and I'm like, dang, there are not a lot of objectives to do. There really aren't. I don't want to do another search and destroy contract. I could pop a UAV over by TV station. That's something I'm thinking about because we saw those cluster strikes from earlier. I could do a recon, but that's like kind of slows me down a little bit. I want to fight people, right? So the main way to fight people when you're talking about contracts is a bounty. If I grab either of these bounties, they're probably all gonna pull downtown. Just knowing how bounties pull, they don't always pull right next to you. They pull to the POI near you, normally. So if I grab this one, it's going downtown. If I grab this one, maybe it'll go somewhere else, but I don't want to go downtown. If I grab this one, it's definitely going downtown. So if I want to guarantee that I don't slow my game down by going downtown and having to run up 12 flights of stairs, I'm going to go do this contract. Even though it's quite a bit of a commitment, even with the car, it's a little bit of a hike here to get there. I'd rather know that I'm not going to have to go downtown than like, you know, guess. So that was what was going through my mind here. Gives me... I'm just going to skip all the way ahead here to me grabbing that bounty. You can even see I thought about grabbing this one right here. And then I'm just like, nah, I'm going to guarantee it. So I'm going to skip a little bit more ahead here. All right. And as we're driving up to the bounty, we see the red smoke. We see the loadout dropping. That tells me, obviously, this guy's getting a loadout. And so when a guy is getting a loadout, he's very exposed. Excuse me. He's very exposed. And so in my mind, I want to get really good timing on this. The longer I let him linger around his loadout, the more likely he is to be to full strength. Now, I'm already far enough away to where if this guy's even halfway competent, he's going to have his loadout before I get there. But that's something I'm thinking about. So I drive straight at him. And I'm trying to think about how I want to push this fight, right? Trying to think about how I want to push this fight. This is one of those buildings that's a little unique in Warzone. And so I just want you to think right now about how you would push this fight. If we want to fight this guy, we want to get the kill, we want to grab our bounty, what would you be thinking right now? You could think about going gas station. You could think about maybe pulling up here. Or you could think about going around the back. None of those options are something that I want to do. This is going to take too long because then it's just going to be a building to building fight where we're sitting there fighting each other for 5 minutes. This doesn't have any cover and puts me on low ground against a guy with a lot of cover and high ground. This I just don't like. And so this is a moment where I just want to drive up and see if this guy's going to give me his building. If he doesn't, if he does a really good job of defending it, I'm going to drive away and then try a different approach. But I'm going to drive up and try to at least take his building. That way we can get this fight over with. Yep, so he's shooting at me right there. I drive past and I slide out with good centering. Once I realize he's not here anymore, I'm like, okay, this guy is giving up the second floor to me. Why is he giving up the second floor to me? Because he's bottom floor, not checking it, not forcing me to do anything. I can go here, here, and then get inside. Right. As I'm doing that, he throws smoke, gets a little bit of damage on me. And so from here, I'm just trying to figure out what this guy's doing, right? Is he going to hit the same jump spot I am? I don't know. Is he going to run around the side? I don't know. Is he going to come up the stairs? I don't know. So I'm going to use my ears and I'm trying to figure it out. Now we hear a slide on concrete outside. So that tells me that he ran this way on the outside of the building. Where's he most likely to come from? The stairs on the outside. I hear him hit a little vault, and so once I hear that vault, I'm trying to catch him in an animation. I slide out with good centering, anticipating him to be on the stairs. I come back. I know he's still fooling around over here. I think he missed his jump or missed his vault or whatever he was doing. Gave himself bad timing, but it ends up working in his favor. So I reach Aldous again, knowing that he's going to be there. My centering is a little off, and so right away I realize that this is potentially a gunfight I'm going to lose. I possibly could have stuck this, but because he's on a head glitch, this is the same situation as Big Blue earlier. I'm standing, he can see my full body. I can only see his head, and if he's a smart player, he can strafe down the stairs and make it really hard to shoot him. And so even though I get the armor break here and I have a health advantage, in my mind, this is not a safe fight for me. I need to bail out of it. So I strafe back towards the wall.
Change your mags.
Again, we're listening. I hear the guy run around the side, so I wasn't sure if he was going to hit a jump spot for the door. Still listening. He's reloading. I slide in with good centering, check the door, and then I hear him bust through a door down here and run up the stairs. And so we just put our crosshair where he's going to pop up and start shooting. A little bit of a sweatier gunfight. Basically, all that one came down to was taking power position away from this guy and controlling, you know, what angles he was going to push me from. So we drove up here. He was giving us the high ground, so we jump onto the high ground, take advantage of it really fast, then we control that room. Now, if he wants to fight us, he has to come to us, and we can control the way the fight goes. Okay. So we got that. Come over here, hit the UAV. I'm gonna grab my car. You're actually gonna see me go and grab. The reason we came over here in the first place was to grab this bounty. Taking note of the sniper up at top fire. Unfortunately, this is where our bounty ends up pulling. Normally it doesn't pull that close to you, but there must not have been a lot of people around here. So now I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta fight this guy top fire. If this wasn't a bounty, I just would have left this. But because contracts are so important to me, they're gonna give me cash flow, they're gonna give me my contract multiplier for later in the game. This is a situation where I'm gonna go over there and see if he's gonna make a mistake and make it easy for me. If he's not, you know, there is gonna be like a time limit in my head of like, okay, I've spent too much time here, I'm gonna leave. But I want you to pay attention to how I do this, right? We know that guy was sniping. And so if I want to come over here safely and not get sniped out of my car, I'm gonna use the river and then I'm gonna use the trees, right? Like I know there's trees over here. If I use the river, he can't really shoot me. So use the river. And then I noticed that these trees are gonna be blocking his vision, right? So I want you to pay attention to how I line up this tree, right? We're driving at him now. I'm going to be most exposed when I'm driving straight at him. He's going to have an easy headshot lineup. So I use the tree to break his aim. Not only his aim, but his vision. So this is just one way that I was able to outplay him here. He actually ends up not being a great player at all. But we're pushing, we're trying to take his low ground if he's going to give it to us. And we're using the terrain to cover up his vision. What's this guy gonna think? Possibly, right? Like he's a sniper. He might try to check this. And so I slide out or just chow out with good centering to see if he's gonna peek it. He doesn't. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I need to see if there's any way that I can get a quick and easy kill here. A lot of times these people, these snipers that sit top fire, they'll peek you, which is an opportunity. If I can even break this guy's plates, right? Like if I can just get him to peek me one time, rip off one or two of his plates, I can use my impact grenades to kill him if I throw them into his room, right? And so all I'm trying to do here, honestly, I'm not even trying to knock the guy. I'm trying to just get some damage so I can throw my impact grenades in there. Slide out with good centering. And I do play this a little bit slower than I wanted, but you know, I'm not in control of what this guy's gonna do. I shoot to try and bait him out. Maybe if I shoot, he thinks I'm in a gunfight. You never know. You'd be so surprised how many times if you just shoot, someone will come peeking. So as we were pulling in here, with the car, I remember seeing a gas grenade. I couldn't remember exactly where it was. It was right there. I see the gas grenade. I'm like, okay, let me look around for loot, anything that I can use against this guy. I'm also thinking I have this ammo cache here that I can refill all my stuff on. And so right now, technically, I have 2 gas grenades and 4 impact grenades to work with here. So I'm going to use the gas grenade, see if I can force him out. And I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna use my impact grenades. I'm gonna jump down and go get more impact grenades. But funny enough, me diving off here, for whatever reason, makes him decide to peek. You can see it up here. It makes him decide to peek. So as I'm coming out, I see he's peeking again. And this is the situation I originally wanted. I just wanted to get damage on him so I could then throw my other impact grenades in. Right? I just broke his plates. Now I know he doesn't have armor / he's not plating up. And now I can kill him with my impact grenade. Absolute dime of an impact grenade throw. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. I hear him jump down, so I hold my other one. Obviously, I hear him jump down, and also my impact grenade doesn't hit. I put that impact grenade right where that guy was, and we hear audio that tells me he jumped down. Shoot his body because just don't sit in the top of fire, bro. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. All right. So now we're in the mid game. One of the objectives, besides contracts and kills, is getting our loadout. I've been running with a stock, floor loot C9 this whole time, and I want to grab my LC10. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Using our UAV, trying to pinpoint exactly where players are. I'm going to remember that this guy's at the house, and then I'm going to have the green ping for later on. In my mind right now, I'm thinking that I still have my smoke grenades. Actually ends up just being gas grenades. I was trying to cover up my loadout pickup because I knew that this guy was going to do this, right? And so this is another example of like just predicting player behavior, right? This guy's going to see the car. He sees the loadout drop on his map. He's going to see the car drive up to the loadout on his map. What is any player going to think? Oh, that's a free kill, right? That's what they're going to think. And so as I'm pulling up, I use the smoke to try and block his vision. And sure enough, he's in the window, right? Didn't realize this guy ended up actually laying down. What I did right there was I shoot him. He disappears, and I thought he ran away. And so I just tried to pre-fire the window, but he actually ends up laying down in here. And so now I know I have this guy's plates broken. Now I can take his power position. If he's gonna give me, the low ground for free, I'm gonna take it. Throw my impact grenades in to try and get some opening damage. I don't know what happened here. We get the bombs, and then somehow I take damage. Was he RPGing me? I don't know what happened. I didn't even realize it at the time. Same situation as earlier. I know that this is the exact same situation from the very first kill in this game. I know this guy's pinned in this room. And so I slide out, turn my camera as I'm sliding, and just pre-fire. Break this guy's plates, but we can't push yet because he has one of these down. So I use my impact grenade to get the knock. I didn't want him to be able to run out the window, right? Because I know that I need to do this before I run through. So outplayed this guy by reading his intentions, right? We saw the red. We had a UAV, so we had the information, right? We have been scaling our cash flow to where we have excess money to get UAVs. That was the first outplay. So just by playing strategically, playing according to the phases of Warzone, doing objectives, we had enough cash to get a UAV. The UAV gives us information. The information allows us to make a prediction, right? The info was him being in this house. As we're driving up to the loadout, we make a prediction that anyone near the loadout is probably going to look, right? And so as he looks, I shoot him in the face. That gives me the opportunity to take his building, and then I just work him down from there. So that's all of these little things that add up. Doing contracts, getting first shots, pushing, taking low ground, playing aggressive, all of these little things. People always talk about like bot lobbies and stuff. It's like, even in the most body of bot lobbies, a lot of players can't do some of these things because they just don't play that way. They play really scared, they play slow, they play inefficient, they loot all the time, they're not doing contracts. It's like all of these things add up. That's why I'm making this video, explain that stuff to you guys. Again, a lot of these early fights are fairly basic. Grab the recon contract just because I want to do contracts. I'm just gonna, if I can do, I don't even think I end up doing the recon. I really don't. But I grabbed the recon contract just because this game doesn't have a lot of contracts. Like this match specifically didn't have a lot of contracts. But if you remember from earlier, we popped a UAV and we green pinged it. So I know that there's a guy here. Just actually want to give a real quick shout out to, I don't remember his name, but he was a subscriber. This next gunfight actually ends up being against a subscriber. He was typing in all chat. It's underneath my hand cam, so I can't, play it back on the recording. As I push in here, we got spring mines. He gets first shots. This is a really dangerous situation, right? I telegraphed what I was doing. He got first shots, not only by shooting me, but also with the spring mines. And so the second I see this, my brain is like, I got to get the heck out of here because this guy knows I'm weak and he's going to be able to chase me, right? And so as I'm running away, I know that I don't have time to probably get to this corner before he comes out the room, right? Like if he starts running and chasing me right away, he only needs to hit one bullet, right? I'm probably not going to make it to that corner in time, but I can make it to this corner and play this, right? So not only am I playing for cover, but I'm also playing to break this guy's aim assist. If you guys don't know, things like fences, trees, smokes, little poles, a lot of times they'll break aim assist. And so right now, all I'm trying to do, right? This is like literally, I would say this is like a 595 gunfight. Like I have a 5% chance of winning this gunfight just based on where we're standing with health right now. Because if he pushes me fast, he can kill me easy. So I'm thinking, okay, I am going into full shell, full defense mode. I need to get plates on, but I don't have time to run to this corner. I'm going to run over here. So we run over here. I know this guy's going to be coming out. I slide, and as I'm sliding, I hold down my slide button to lay down. I get 1 or 2 plates on, and then I bounce a smoke off of the ground, right? I know that I just need to create more space, create more time, give myself time to get this fight back to a 50-50. Even right now, like even with him playing as aggressive as he can, I turned a 595, let's say, into like a 2080, right? All of that sliding, getting behind the cover has gotten me back to a 2080. What bouncing the smoke off of the wall will do is give me cover, break his aim assist, and allow me to get it back to a 50-50. And honestly, in my opinion, I'm going to say a 55-45 because I'm going to play the smoke knowing that it breaks his aim assist. I practice every single day. I wouldn't say I practice. I warm up every single day for 10 minutes without using aim assist. I literally turn it off for moments like these and also just to train my right stick control. So I know that I have above average right stick control compared to the average player when they don't have aim assist. And so I know that I can play inside the smoke, and even though my aim is going to be terrible here, I'm probably going to hit more shots than this guy. So bounce the smoke, play on the edges of it, right? He can't see me, he can't shoot me, doesn't have aim assist, and here's where I make my final stand. And he even does a good job of locating me and getting first shots again. But because he's standing on the edge of the aim assist, and I'm going to play to make him shoot through the aim assist, or because he's playing on the edge of the smoke, and I'm going to strafe this way to make him play through the smoke, it's going to also break his aim assist. Right? Pull out my AR. Obviously, I don't have aim assist here. My aim isn't going to look the same. Now I've got first shots. I took that fight all the way from a 595 into a fight that I win. So shout out Lamp. He actually played that about as good as he could. I think I just outplayed him with playing behind the cover, bouncing smokes, getting it back to a 50-50, and then, winning just based off of aim. So shout out Lamp though. I didn't know this was a subscriber. I knew that I had these spring mines, and I knew that this guy was decent. He was probably going to win his gulag. And so I throw my spring mines down on the ground, or throw his own spring mines down on the ground here for when he comes back, right? Because he spring mined me earlier. I'm going to spring mine him. I want to get him out of the game. And so that's one easy way to do it, is knowing that he's probably a good enough player to win his gulag, come back and get his guns. I wish I could show you guys him typing in all chat, because I actually, you'll see it on the hand cam. I actually do end up telling him. Once I realize it's a subscriber, I'm like, my bad, bro. And I actually end up telling him that there's spring mines on it. Okay, so I do end up trying to come over here and do the recon. This is a similar situation to earlier. What was I talking about earlier? Where I was doing the search and destroy contract and someone's nearby and I just try to punch them in the mouth. This is something that I've been trying to work on. And so I actually end up doing that again in this situation. You can see me take my hands off the controller here because I'm typing to him in all chat. But we do end up hearing somebody push up. Car pulls up on me. I know that right away. Oh, shoot. Get my hands on the controller. Let me play this head glitch because this guy's going to push me, right? This guy actually ends up playing this pretty well. He shoots the door open. I shoot the door back at him. He shoots the door again for some reason. Unfortunately, because I'm trying to throw my impact nade through this door to try and get first shots, right? You see me do this all the time. I try to open fights by getting first shots, and then I try to track better. One of the ways to get first shots is to throw an impact grenade at somebody, because not only is it going to break some of their plates, it's also going to put a bunch of smoke in their face that like disorients people. And so I'm thinking that this door was open. I'm going to throw the impact grenade through it, get damage, push, clean him up. Unfortunately, as I'm throwing the impact grenade, he shuts the door. And so as I'm going to play aggressive, knowing that I thought I was going to get first shots, I go to play aggressive, punch this guy in the mouth. I do end up getting first shots and breaking this guy's plates, but I make a big mistake here. This guy outplays me. This guy, I'll just call it like it is. This guy outplays me. As he's running through here, he makes a last stand reach-out. He slides through and lays down. So he drop shots me. I would have beat him here had I been paying attention to my ammo. So in my mind, was like, I don't have enough ammo. I'm going to switch to my AR. This guy's already weak. I just need to hit him a couple times. And so I make the mistake of assuming that I can finish this off with my AR when I probably should have just stuck with my SMG here, right? Like, I have him broken. I'm safe. This is like a 80-20 gunfight that I just mess up. But he does a really good job by laying down here. So, GG's to Slick Willy. Just a little bit of an unfortunate, like, timing situation. I mess up not switching or staying on my SMG. He hits a nice drop shot, so can't win all your gunfights. It is what it is. Telling Lamp that that I'm in the gulag and that my prox mine's disappeared. So let's talk about the gulag. Let's skip ahead a little bit here. If I can get one. My strategy in the gulag is always run up to the middle, sound whore. Run up to the middle. Usually I favor the right because that's where people come from. Hear him on my left. And so right now I have two options. I heard him on my left. I was looking right when I heard him on my left. So he's either here or here, right? We know he's not here. There's really only 3 places people can come from in the gulag, right? And so if you can eliminate one of them, immediately you know that there's 2 places he can come from. I want to eliminate another variable, right? I want to turn this into I know he's in one spot. And so one way to do that, especially in the gulag, is a lot of times you get Molotovs or grenades or thermites. I love the thermite in the gulag because now I can throw the thermite at him. I know he's not here. I can use the thermite to eliminate that he's here, and I can just isolate him into one lane, right? He's not moving. I use the thermite to eliminate that. I slide out here with really, really, really good centering in case he was here, right? If I see him, I shoot him. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. So now we're in the regain phase. Let me back it up a second here. Now we're in the regain phase, and we're starting to get towards the end game. I have a little bit of bread here because we've done so many contracts and completed so many objectives. We have a lot of cash. And so I can get back into this game pretty quickly because of all that. This is why I talk about contracts are so important. Because the more contracts you do, the more cash you're going to have, and the more each contract is going to pay out for cash, right? Just because of the multiplier. And so because I've done so many contracts, I have a lot of bread to work with. I can land, I can get a UAV and a loadout. As long as I get, you know, $800 more, I can get loadout, UAV, and some plates. That's what I'm thinking here. Now, I know that I need to immediately probably complete another contract to get myself ready for the end game. Not only am I thinking about the regain right now, but I'm also thinking about getting myself set up for the end game. The end game phase is all about the end game checklist and positioning. So I know that I need to get a little bit more cash, right? I have to get my loadout. I have to get a self-res. I have to get the satchel, the gas mask, the munitions, the cluster. All of that costs money, and I need more of it. So in order for me to get more money, I need to take advantage of my multiplier and do some other kind of contract. You could argue the smarter play would be to do a supply run here. You'd be right, because it's going to give you a free self-res. But in my mind, I'm still on a decent game, and I want to do a big game bounty to not only get the advanced UAV, but to get rid of a good player. I also know that this big game bounty is right next to a buy station that probably doesn't have people. And so I'm kind of analyzing all of the variables here, and I'm like, all right, I want to get back into this game. I need to get my loadout. I also want to do another contract. Let's go to the safest place to probably get our loadout, grab a contract, and get on here. You could argue that I could the same thing for here, but I want the big game bounty over the supply run. That's just a choice that I make. You can see me just floating here trying to figure it out. I'm like, all right, bang. Make a decision, go. Make a decision, go. Fly in here. Regains are just like the early game. Try to have a good drop. Know where the contract is. Hit it quick. I do see some plates here, and I'm like, all right. I got some plates here. Got a box here. Gives me enough money. Now I got some plates. I got 12K, so I can get, you know, loadout, UAV, and maybe a plate or two. And we're right back in the game immediately. If you guys are struggling with getting back into the game, if you die when you're gulag and then don't know what to do, part of that is because you're not doing enough contracts, which means you're not going to have enough money to do something like this. That's why all of these things add up, and it's why I preach so hard about, you know, the phases of Warzone and contracts. It's because of all these things. So, right away we get back into the game. How you regain is going to be a big differentiator in whether or not you're winning games. Because, like, there's 149 other players in this game that get a vote in what happens. You're going to die in your games. How you react to that, how you respond to that, the strategies you use to get back into the game all matter. So, I wanted to loot around a little bit and maybe try and get some more plates. I also find myself an LC-10. And so right away, I'm like, okay. We're back in the game. I've got plates. I got SMG. I got my AR. I want to try and go push this if I can. So we're going to skip a little bit ahead here, pick up one more plate on the way. Literally just run out in the middle of the open, trying to get a car.
Get to the new safe zone.
As I'm running up to the car, I hear a spring mine in here. What would you be thinking? Should we push this guy? No, we should not push this guy. We have a car. We have a bigger objective in the form of the big game bounty. Wasting time to fight this one guy that has spring mines is a giant mistake compared to getting 11 grand in advanced UAV and a bigger multiplier for the end game and getting a good player out. So we kill one guy that has spring mines down. It's going to take a while. Or we get a good player out of the game. We complete a contract. We get money for the contract and we get an advanced UAV. It's these decisions that you guys need to weigh and be able to just see this obvious clear as day. I did think about it, but I was like, what are we doing, Eric? What are we doing? If that guy's going to give it to me for free, I'm going to take it, right? But I very quickly correct myself. I'm like, what are we doing here? This is way more important. All right. And so as we push up to a big game bounty, I always say use your UAVs to complete objectives. Whenever I'm pushing a big game bounty, I always want to have a UAV because information right away is an advantage, right? So if this guy doesn't have a UAV and I have a UAV, it's going to be a good player. I want to go in with the most advantage that I can. So just by popping the UAV right away, I get a little bit of an advantage here. It's a 55-45 gunfight.
Requesting recon flyer.
Pull up. He just sniped somebody over to the left. We hear him running. The minimap is telling me that he's above me. I hear just based on audio cues that he's on the carpet or, you know, in the second floor. And so I know that he's above me, second floor, not third floor. Center my crosshair where I'm most likely to see him. I see him come down to my level and I'm like, all right. And honestly, I don't like the way I chowed this. This was a really aggressive play out of me. I probably should have hit the jump spot out here and went second floor. But because I slammed through the door and then I kind of veer myself off to the right a little bit, I'm able to break this guy's aim. Just enough to get the kill. Very, very, very risky play out of me. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have done that. Okay. And so similar to the search and destroy contract earlier, similar to the recon contract earlier, this guy doesn't know that I know where he's at, probably, right? Like he's looking to third party. We can tell just based on the minimap that he's looking to third party us. So I'm looking to catch this guy off guard. I'm not even really, like, we can tell because we are on the second floor. He's over here on top of a tent. We can just tell, right? Because he's on our level. It shows he's in or on the tent, but he's on our level. So that means he's on top of the tent, probably looking to head glitch or snipe me, right? And so right away, I want to go fight this guy. What should I do? Should I just fully ego chow him through the window and just continue to shoot at him? Probably not, right? Because he has a good head glitch. Those tents are hard to shoot at. But what I am going to do is I am going to ego chow this. I'm just going to shoot him enough to scare him and make him hide. I talked about this in the last video. I call it shoot and move. If you can shoot somebody just enough to make them like be like, oh crap, I need to like lay down, put on plates real quick. If you can just break one plate, that's an opportunity for you to move and reposition and do something that's going to throw them off. So I want you to pay attention to this.
Thanks for the work.
I don't fully commit to the gunfight, right? We get him out. He ducks down. Now he has no idea where we are. He has no idea because he's hiding, right? And so I use that to my advantage. Pay attention to that arrow the whole time I'm doing this. Is that arrow reacting and looking towards where I am? No. Because I shot him, I made him hide, and then I used him being scared to reposition and hit him from an angle. This is why, like, in a lot of videos, people will say on YouTube, like, I wish my enemies didn't shoot back. They'll say that not only on my videos, but on a lot of other creators' videos. And don't get me wrong, like, there are lobbies that don't shoot back. I have lobbies, like, this lobby wasn't that great of a lobby. But the point is I never gave this guy an opportunity to shoot back because I made him hide, and I used him hiding to reposition, hit him from a different angle. He never even had a chance. Right? Okay. So now we're looking at the map. We got the big game bounty. I know there's a bunch of people coming in from Stadium. We got a group coming in from Lumber. I'm just memorizing all of this right now. Just memorizing all of this. There's a little bit of a cluster over here that I want to go push.
Move it.
So I'm going to skip a little bit ahead here. I think I end up grabbing that guy's LC-10.
Proceed to the buy station.
Grab a contract just cuz we're already here.
UAV standing by.
We are in the end game now, but I'm pushing a little bit for more kills. I know that I have opportunity for another buy station. I know that I'm going to have another opportunity for a buy station because I know that I'm coming over here. As we drive up, I see one guy in here. We saw one in the yellow. And so in my mind, I was thinking, okay, the guy in yellow rotated over to this building for whatever reason. But it actually ends up being two people over here. Two little rats. And so right away, I have to play this a little different because if I overcommit to one of these, I could get third-partied, right? Like this guy's sitting right here. If I overcommit to this building, if I run out in the open, I'm going to get third-partied. If I overcommit to this building and I get out of a gunfight, like I have to be very strategic about how I take these gunfights because if I take too much damage in these gunfights, the other guy could be right behind me shooting me in the back. So that's something that I'm thinking about here. The reason I come over here to the right is because I know that that's going to cut off the vision of the guy in the yellow building, right? Like he would have to like come all the way into this corner to be able to shoot me, to be able to see me. So I'm isolating one of these gunfights by doing this. I know both of these players aren't that great though. So I get the plate break. I throw my impact grenade, throw it a little too high, almost sniped him with it, right? I've been working on that. I almost sniped him with the impact grenade. So I hug the building, right? Because this guy obviously could peek. He could obviously peek or jump down, right? Like the guy above me could jump down on top of me. I don't want to give him the best opportunity to do that. And so I just hug the wall while I push this guy. Switch to my SMG. Guy runs outside. We've talked about in Warzone, when you have a power position, when you take a power position, don't give it up. And so when that guy jumps out, in my mind, I was thinking he's going to come inside the window, right? And so I was getting ready to slide shell this window. But then I hear him grasp footsteps running away from me. This is a little bit of aggressive play, but I know that the guy in the yellow building can't see me right now because he has no window. Obviously, he has the low floor window, but he doesn't have the high ground window. So I know he's second floor. This guy is running this way. I can get rid of this guy pretty quick. A little bit of an aggressive chow, but I know both these players aren't that great and I can get away with it. So I don't like the fence. I can't shoot through the fence with the LC-10. Right away, I'm anticipating this guy pushing me, and so I just bounce another smoke and get myself back to full health.
Switching max.
Should have started plating a little earlier. Did I not plate here? Oh my gosh, what a bot. This is a little bit of a sloppier game out of me, to be honest. So we know this guy's still here, right? We hear him, you know, clunking around in here. We talked about at the very beginning of the video when I threw that decoy grenade that sometimes I like to use sound cover or sound as a distraction. That's why we like having the cluster strike for the late game, is not only because it can cover visually, but it can cover audibly and it lasts longer than a precision. So you're going to see me throw my smoke grenade here. I'm going to chuck it over to the left. The whole reason I want to do that is just to make this guy think that I'm over to the left, slash just make him hesitate long enough because I know that I want to push this, right? There's a little bit of a jump spot here. If you do it right, you can go here to here to here. I actually end up messing it up, but the point is, I throw the nade, make him think I'm over there,
You've got a loadout drop in.
and then I'm trying to hit this little ledge and then jump in quickly. Fortunately, I throw my own timing off here, and so now I know that guy just heard me land on his roof. I can't fully chow this because I lost my little bit of window to do that, right? That smoke grenade might make him hesitate for 1 or 2 seconds, but then the second he hears that metal footstep on the roof, he's going to know that I'm trying to come through the window. And so after I fail it, I'm like, crap, I can't fully chow this, so I'm not going to commit to going through the window. Had I landed the jump spot originally, I would have came through the window. I strafe past the window just to visually check to see if he's still looking. He is. I knew this guy had spring mines from earlier. I still can't believe I haven't played it up. That's insane out of me. That's what's cool about watching back your own games, is you catch, you catch the mistakes you make.
You'll have to be faster than...
Those guys weren't very great anyways.
I'm reloading.
This endgame situation, this endgame fight actually ends up being probably the best fight.
Recon flyo. Take cover.
So we got 6 players remaining. We know where 2 of them are. That means the rest of them are probably all beyond the range of my UAV, right? Because I do have bird's eye on, just because of my perk package, but the range of my UAV is probably like something like this, right? And so that tells me that I know there's 2 players here. There's 6 total players left. 2 of them I can see. That means the other 4 are somewhere, over here-ish, right? And so I know that I have basically this whole half of the zone to myself, right? Let me clear it. I basically have this whole side of the gas to myself, right? And so if I'm trying to win the game, which I am at this point, I'd be really pushing it if I'm trying to get a 20 bomb. Once I realize that I'm not going to get a 20 bomb, I start playing a little bit different. I start playing a little bit slower just because I want to go for the win, right? Like if I'm not going to get the 20 bomb, if it's not going to, like, I would really have to step on the gas and get lucky to get the 20 bomb here, right? There's 6 players left. I need 5. So in my mind, I'm just going for the win here. I'm thinking about positioning. I know that I have this whole side of the zone. And also the reason I came over here earlier was because I was near the buy station, because I still need to hit my end game checklist. These are all the things that I'm thinking about.
You've got gas moving in.
Incoming.
Trying to decide whether or not I want to use the car,
Got movement.
because the car is going to tell people where I am. I need to get over to the buy station quick though.
UAV in the area.
So we have 22 grand. We have 22 grand. What would you guys go into the buy station thinking? Are you just going to drive up to the buy station and then think about it? Or should we use this time driving up to the buy station to think about it? It's pretty obvious. So on the way to the buy station, I'm thinking, okay, end game checklist. I do have a lot of money. I probably have more than I need for my end game checklist. So I think I end up popping a UAV here again, just to spend the money and have the extra information. I think. So UAV, pop it. Now I'm going to go cluster, munitions box, self-res, gas mask. Now we have all the things for our in-game checklist. Self-res, plates, gas mask, smokes, munitions, cluster. Now, when I don't have a satchel, that's another reason why I end up playing this endgame fairly slow, is because I don't have those extra 3 plates. When I have 5 plates versus 8, that means I can realistically only take 1 or 2 comfortable gunfights, especially if I run into a sweat, which in the end game, you're obviously more likely to run into good players because those are the players that, survived, obviously. And so when I only have 5 plates versus 8, I know that I need to play a little bit more conservative in the end game because I'm not going to be able to get more plates. I'm not going to carry an armor box just because I don't value the armor box over the smokes, but it's just another thing I'm thinking here. So we pop our UAV, we end up getting the rest of those pings. From here, I'm entirely playing for positioning. I grabbed the bounty just for information, because that bounty is going to last 3 minutes, right? Like, my UAV's only going to last... My UAV's only going to last another couple seconds, but that bounty is going to last 3 minutes. And so if that bounty ends up being the last guy forever, I'm just going to have information on where that guy is. Right.
Movement in this area.
So I green ping where I know one player is. I danger ping where another player is. And I have a bounty. So big difference between just like winging it and going into the endgame zone without an endgame checklist, without the UAV, without the cache. Like, this is the big differentiator between good players and bad players. Like, even though this isn't a great lobby, I go into the end game giving myself all of the tools and all of the information I need to win this game, right? I grab an extra bounty contract, even though I don't need the money, just so I have the information. I use my UAV to green ping someone, so I know where one player is, and then I even danger ping where another player is. So now I know where 3 of the last 6 guys are. And then I also, because I did contracts all game, gave myself my endgame checklist. So these are the things you need to think about when you're in an endgame, is how can I give myself the best chance to win through positioning, through cash flow, through, you know, trigger discipline, all that good stuff. Originally, I was going to come over here. No, I do come over here. Yeah. I come over here and fight the guy in green ping, because I know I have a little bit of time left. I want to kind of thin the herd. I thought this was lamp again. I used the impact grenade to get first shots. And then I just hit better shots than that guy. That guy ends up being a pretty decent player, had specialist, was moving around quite a bit, hit decent shots, but ultimately, I just used my impact grenade, get first shots, track better. Nothing crazy about that. Okay, so now the zone has narrowed down. I know that I need to play for positioning entirely. What would you be thinking? Where would you be positioning? Right? So let's just assume that you're remembering the information, which who knows? We had people over here, right? And we can maybe assume that there's somebody here, right? So this is more dots than there are. There should only be 4 here. But let's just say, like, relatively, this is where the information... Like, we know there's no one on this side of the zone. And so if I want to give myself the best chance to not only survive this zone, but to get to the next zone, if I'm going purely for the win here, I need to play this side of the zone. Because I know there's cover over here. We got logs, we got a little building, we got a hill, I have my car. And so if I just put myself over here, I give myself the best chance to not get third-partied. Or to get snuck up on, you know what I'm saying? Again, my mindset shifted a little bit this game because I knew I didn't have the 20 bomb, so I just start playing entirely for the win. If I was on 30 bomb pace and I need to get these last 4 guys, then I'm gonna do it, but... So we stop here. I even position my car a little bit to protect myself from the front. A little bit of a misplay here. You're gonna see me check behind me quite a bit. We talked a lot about like gathering the information and remembering it. Sometimes I just don't trust the information, right? Like I didn't know if there was one little rat that like super rotated and is now behind me over here. I'm not saying that I forgot that there was no one here, but I just have a mistrust of the game. Like we all play Warzone. Sometimes UAVs don't work entirely. Sometimes there's bugs. I wasn't gonna let somebody sneak up behind me from this building and kill me. That was all I was thinking here. Even though I should have known that there was no one else by me, right? We just got done talking about that. Just covering all my bases. Warzone makes you paranoid. Why do I not shoot this guy? Because it's going to give away my position, right? If I shoot this guy, I have an unsuppressed weapon. It's going to tell everyone else where I am. This is also a low percentage kill, right? Like, yes, I could. This guy's probably weak. He's in the gas. He's getting shot at. I could probably steal this kill. But what's one extra kill if I lose the game, right? Because then I tell everyone where I'm at. Granted, everyone should know where I'm at because of the car, but I'm constantly double checking, looking left, looking right, looking left, looking right, making sure no one's sneaking up on me. Okay, so now I know that's empty. This guy's straight ahead of me. I don't know if he sees me because he's still fighting this guy, right? So again, why do I not shoot at this guy? Honestly, the reason I don't shoot at this guy isn't because of anything positioning-wise. Like, this is just a low percentage kill. This guy's moving around. He's got the Rosalina skin or whatever, the sweat skin. He's moving around pretty good. He's playing aggressive in the late game. Like, I know this is going to be a decent player. even if I shoot this guy right now, he's probably going to get away before I can fully kill him. So just a little bit of trigger discipline here saves my positioning. I see that guy rotating up to the left. And so I'm like, okay, I hear shots up here. That means there's one guy fighting here. There's one guy fighting here. And then we saw the last guy rotating left. And so now I know that more than likely the rest of behind me is pretty safe. I'm going to try and leak into the zone now. I'm going to try and play for the next zone. Using the hill as cover. I want to be the last guy alive. Thought I was going to be able to kill that guy. Probably shouldn't have shot at him for the same reasons we talked about earlier. Okay, so now I know that it is a 1v1v1. My bounty also got completed because I got credit for that kill. So then I get the little UAV ping off of the bounty. That tells me that there's a guy in the blue building, and then that guy that rotated left earlier is now right here. And so we're in a 1v1v1. I know the rest of the zone is safe, so now I'm kind of unlocked and I'm free to play. I use this cluster strike to make sure that they stay over there because I want to pin them down in this location. I meant to like pop it. I was trying to pop it a little bit deeper here, but I actually ended up popping it too close to myself.
All bounty targets destroyed. Hell of a job.
So I know those guys are about to fight, right? Like there's two guys right on top of each other. Actually, they already killed each other. Yeah, they already killed each other. Right as I was saying that, they killed each other. And so now I know it's a 1v1. I know that this guy is on blue. I just need to hold irons here and try to get first shots. Okay, cool. We got first shots. We got a plate break. Am I going to be able to get all the way up to this guy and kill him? No. But similar to the situation at Tents earlier, when we get that damage, it's going to make somebody hide and block off their own vision, right? And so that's an opportunity for me to get a little bit more aggressive here, right? When you're playing, this ends up being a decent player, and I already knew that because we saw him earlier. When you're playing against a good player, you can't play over aggressive, but you need to make sure that you're constantly tightening the noose on them, right? And so I get first shots. I'm not going to be able to get up there, but I can get up to this tree and then hold my irons again, right? Just constantly keeping the pressure on this guy. Play the tree. Hold my irons. He's got three places he can pop up. The door, the right, and the left. He ends up being on the right side of the building, or left side of the building.
Target grid empty. Negative BDA.
And right now, I just need to hold my irons. I use my impact grenade to, like, maybe get some extra damage on this guy. I slide out to the right. A lot of you guys would be like, why would you play off of your cover? So we talked about when we do the shoot and move and we make someone hide, right? Like right now, this guy can't see me. This guy is definitely thinking I'm still on this tree, right? And so if I play to the right, now I'm going to be able to catch him off guard and get myself to an advantage, right? Because like, I don't want to take a 50-50 gunfight and both of us take damage. I want to get damage on this guy without taking damage so that I can get more aggressive here. And so by playing to the right, I know that I'm going to catch this guy off guard. Get plate break again. So this is the second time I broke this guy's plates. He probably doesn't have a lot of plates. I have full plates, right? And so now we can just tighten the noose. I can just get a little bit more aggressive here. I throw another impact grenade, pull out my SMG. I get close to this guy. And now I know that like he is in the high pressure situation. He has no plates left. He's rotating out of the gas. I just need to sit here and wait for this guy to push. That's all I need to do. I don't want to let him break my camera though. So as I hear him go left, I come back right. I hear the audio footsteps of him getting aggressive here. And so I know that he's going to play this aggressive because he has to. He slides out. I jump over his slide, start with hip fire. Elbozo, broke his camera, start with hip fire. Easy peasy. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the coaching program. I'll see you in the next one.